Hey everybody, Jem Schofield here with the C47 and another episode of Gearbox. Only a couple more days here in Scotland. And one of the things I want to talk to you guys about was metering. And I'm going to get into this a lot more in the future, especially with the series that I'm going to do for the C47 that I'm going to start producing in the fall. But the thing you should understand about a light meter, whether you're using an incident meter or you're using a reflective meter, or you're using a spot meter, which is basically just a type of reflective meter, is that when you're metering, you're effectively metering for what we call middle gray, which is about 18% gray. And there's some discrepancy there, and that's a big subject. But basically, when you're getting a meter reading, what you're doing is you're setting up the meter to the shutter speed. If you're shooting on a DSLR, it's usually at a 50th. You're putting in your ISO or your sensitivity of your camera, and then you're getting a reading to what the aperture should be set to for middle gray on your camera system. And in this case, I'm at an ISO of 160. I'm on a shutter speed of a 50th, and I'm getting a reading of it exactly f11. But remember, f11 is not the exposure I'm supposed to have for my skin tone or for the shadows or for the highlights. It's taking middle gray, and as long as your camera system has enough latitude, then you shouldn't have a problem at all getting things where you need them to be. And my skin tone in relation to middle gray should be about where I need it to be. But then, you know, if you're shooting something else and you want to expose for something in the frame that's a little bit different, then you may want to change what your aperture is set to. Somebody who has darker skin, that's a different situation than if you have somebody who has lighter skin. And so it's really partially subjective. But the thing to remember is that we have camera systems now that have lots of latitude. Even a DSLR camera, we have over 10 stops of latitude. So as long as you're exposing correctly for middle gray, then you should be able to go into post and figure out and, you know, create that relationship of exposure in terms of where you want it to be. That's what I got for you guys. Midgie's back out in full force, and I'll see you guys next time on Gearbox.